Okay, this is the last bit of the high wire where Del Bigtree asks Dr. Andrew Kaufman why he thinks this is being done.
I'm incredibly skeptical and dismayed when obvious science is not being done.
It's coming
So let
up.
me ask you the final
Here it
question that
is.
I get asked all the time as I discuss the issues that I've done a lot of investigation into, which is this. Who is behind this? There must be, because it's not just one country, it's not just America. I see the World Health Organization, but why is no one in the world studying this particle? Why is no one really proving whether it's an exosome or a virus that's traveling in the air? Why is no one, and yet we are all using terrible models, continuing to move forward to destroy our economies, wearing more and more masks, it looks like into eternity, taking away more and more of our rights, in your opinion, and I've been talking with my team. At one point, I thought, well, this is just doctors and medicine, and this is, they're just taking control of the world. But hospitals are shutting down. Doctors are losing their jobs. There's something, it seems, much more sinister or bigger out there. Do you have a theory on what is behind the lack of science, the moving forward with terrible data, the lack of results, the misunderstandings, and really a forceful attack on medical freedom with what seems like no evidence whatsoever? There must be something behind it. What is your theory there?
Yeah, well, I think, there's a lot of evidence to look at here. And one thing that's really telling is that basically what happened is that we had almost all the nations of the world initiate virtually the same exact identical policies to deal with this situation at the same time. And this is really unprecedented, and it shows that there's not individual national sovereignty, because otherwise there would be a lot more variation in how different nations decide.
I'll just stop it for a second. There were some exceptions. Sweden, Japan, South Korea. There were some exceptions and exceptions within the state, but I'm not going to disagree with the forthcoming theories.
To handle this situation. Now, you can look at many documents in many organizations, like the Rockefeller Foundation, like the World Economic Forum, right? We know, I'm sure you've reported about Event 201. There are many documents and exercises like that that all seem to have planning elements related to our current situation. I think the World Economic Forum is the most detailed and impressive. And if you haven't looked at their website, you should definitely look at a couple of things. Look at their plan for the big reset, which has clearly been in the making for decades. And then look at their strategic initiative, I believe, the chart that goes 200 layers deep. And you'll see that there's been intense planning to every aspect of how these things fit together. And you're right, even if there was a real virus that really was scary, why would it require shutting down all the businesses that were shut down? Why would it require shutting down hospitals? Why would it require laying off healthcare workers, the opposite of what you would expect in such a crisis, right? So nothing really adds up here. So there is another motive. And I believe that the motivation is really to rework or re-engineer our society into a global system with extremely limited freedoms. And that's why they've been taking away our freedoms and telling us the only way to restore any freedom is to allow the governments to monitor our every move and every aspect of our health and our body's integrity, and possibly, and even our behavior, where we go, who we congregate with, right? And that's not going to obviously create more freedom. It's going to be a device for more control. And I want to add one really important thought, and I think this speaks to one of your the biggest issue for you, which is that if there is no virus that's been proven, then what is the vaccine going to really be for?
Mm. That is a question that will probably keep me up tonight. Dr. Andrew Kaufman, I want to thank you for taking the time. I can see why so many people were asking to be on here. And I hope that as this thing moves forward, maybe we can have you back as we we'll get more details. I believe that the light is shining down. I think more and more scientists, at one point, someone's saying the things that you're saying. I know you're coming into some conflicts, but there are a lot of world-renowned scientists really, I think, starting to ask the right questions. So it seems to me if we all continue to demand that the science be done, we're going to get to some answers. But thank you for taking the time. Thank you for joining us today. Really.
Okay, that's the best part of it. So I'll just end it there. Thank you.